Hello and welcome back to Paranormal Corner. I'm Ben, and we're on episode 6, The Story of Thomas. Today, I got a new guest. His name is Thomas. I'm not going to say his full name because you don't need to know that. But welcome in, Thomas.
Hello. Welcome to the crazy world, paranormal people. Life's a shocker.
I understand because of a post a mutual friend made that you had some paranormal experiences. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Throughout my life, I've had numerous amount of paranormal experiences. The first one being at the age of 5, where paintings would be shadows and whatnot and move back and forth. Next one is when I was 6. Friggin' stuff opening, closing, doors being slammed, the cats and dogs acting weird. And I didn't know at the time it was paranormal, but later on in life I found out it was. I had a few recent experiences when I was in high school. I was on break for my math test or my exam, studying for my exam. And what happened was I was in my room. The power went out, everything went out. And everything, I was shocked because I thought it was power outage. I went to my aunt and uncle, who at the time were downstairs, and I asked them, and they said no. And then the conclusion came to me that it was a paranormal experience because why would the power go off just in my room and not the full house, you know? And I believe it was my grandfather or my uncle saying, get my ass in gear. For my exam, and basically I passed my exam with 60, basically.
Interesting.
Pardon?
I said interesting.
Yeah. So basically that was a wide opener for me. And then basically the other one I've had is seeing shadows and stuff here and there. And recently, I've been looking up things, and people with high sensitive aura can feel the paranormal along those lines. And it has been confirmed on numerous paranormal shows.
Such as Ghost Hunters. Great show, by the way.
Yeah, and Paranormal Kids, I think. Yeah, and Paranormal Kids. A lot of the shows explain paranormal activity, but they don't go into detail of how a person can sense it. Like, for example, I figured it out by myself because I've had it throughout my life. Like, I've had paranormal activity near me my whole life. And on top of that, I live in a apartment building that's haunted and used to be a clock tower, basically. Or, sorry, not clock tower. Basically a place where clocks were made. And there have been many deaths of the workers who used to work here, and they basically haunt the halls. On top of that, people have died in my building, and they still roam the place. So I know how it feels. Exactly how to put it. If let's say, have you ever put ice cubes down your back?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, if you put like that tingling feeling, if you've had ice cubes down your back, that's how you know paranormal is around. Like just a single twitch of a shiver and everything else. So, yeah.
Here's the fact for our lovely listeners. The Latin word for breath is spiritus.
That's interesting. I did not know that. Something you learn every day. And then on top of that, as I was saying, the aura has different levels. Like when it showed in Psychic Kids, Um, the highest aura is when people can actually draw aura and see things, I believe. And then going down that list, people with sensibility to paranormal, like for example myself, don't have that, but you can sense it's there and around you, and you're affected more, I guess. I don't know how to put it in details. So, those are my crazy paranormal experiences. Even though I have a lot of places around me that are haunted as well.
A lot of places in all of Canada are haunted, to be exact. Mohawk College used to be a hospital or an asylum.
Yeah.
If I remember my research correctly.
Yeah. And then there's Castle Loma, and then there's the Lift Locks where I live in Peterborough here. It's a nice place, and yeah, and then there's an area up where I live here. If you walk up, there's a straight hill, and you can feel paranormal there, but not ghosts, actually. You can feel paranormal of animals, which is kind of funny because a lot of people are sensitive to paranormal, but feeling animal ghosts, which is kind of awkward and funny at the same time, you know?
Yep.
Anyway.
I remember this one time. It was actually a couple years back, in fact, that my mom has this Winnie the Pooh snow globe thing that's electronic.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it to me.
Um, it would go off on its own without any batteries in it.
Mm-hmm. And if you notice anything with electricity without having anything inside and it goes off, then that means paranormal's around you. Because high voltage electricity, more than, what was it, 14 gigawatts, I think? I don't know the percentage of gigawatts of electricity, but there is a certain amount that's higher than standard electricity where paranormal can function. I guess how to put it. If that's an interesting fact for you.
It is.
I'm sorry about the crunching. I'm just taking some chips because I'm hungry.
I remember as a kid, I would always get this creepy feeling from my school's basement.
Yeah.
A few classrooms and the lunchroom were in the basement. So we had to go down there every single day.
That's kind of crazy for school to have a lunchroom and classes in a basement. But going on, it might have been an old school. You know.
It's over 100 years old. McMurk Primary School. It's over 100 years old.
Well, yeah. If it, the more older it is, the more paranormal stuff would happen. Like for example, I live across the street from a school, and they're rebuilding the school on the property, and the original school is still there, and it's over 100 years old, and I've seen a lot of shit in my days, but the creepiest part is I believe the school or the grounds is haunted because you can actually see the odd things sometimes. Because before they started building, I saw a pair of red eyes, and I thought, okay. I looked up at every single animal that had red eyes, and it wasn't them. And the creepiest part is the red eyes were just so creepy. It scared the crap out of me. And this was like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning when it was still dark out, and I was going down to the store. Like, that's still creepy, you know?
Why are we going down to the store 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning?
Oh,
The only store that
just
I know that's open at that time is Metro.
oh, we have Max Milk and Circle K, basically. That's open. And it was the day that I had that we had money, and my dad asked me to go get some of his money. So
True.
yeah. So basically, I went and did that, and yeah. So basically, seeing that is another recent experience. That was about a year and a half ago, and no, not a year and a half ago. Yeah, almost a year and a half ago, because they've been building this school for a year almost.
The last time I had any paranormal stuff happen to me was when me and my friend, who's a Wiccan, were doing research for the series. Because as soon as I can afford it, not only is it going to be a podcast, but I'm also going to be doing paranormal investigation videos.
Yeah, like the first thing you want to do is the Blair Witch Project, because the Blair Witch Project is basically a real haunting, and people don't believe that it is. There is a forest in Canada that is actually haunted, and people have died in that forest.
Right now,
I don't know.
Right now, we're going to be staying local, and do like cemeteries and all that.
Cemeteries are cool. I slept in a cemetery before. Just put it that way. If people wanted to know. Sleeping in the cemetery, just say take a blanket with you because it gets cold.
It's all based on time, really. How much time we have and all that. We have someone on the team who has a car, but we don't know how often we're gonna be going.
Yeah.
Outside of the city.
Yeah.
That is the plan, because we have. It's in this book or is it in my other book?
Well, if you want another person to join you guys, I'll be glad to, because I really want to get into this stuff. I love this stuff. Like paranormal facts, basically ghosts, and everything, chills, everything. People need to understand that it's real, and people need to understand that there are special people out there that can feel it, like psychics. Psychics, for example, are very, very, very skeptical, or not skeptical, feeling towards paranormal, and there are times when there's a fake psychic, and then there are times when there's a real psychic. Like the where was it? There is a real psychic here in where I live, and they entered a home where a father died protecting his kid, and the funny thing is, he died like 5 years ago or something, 5-6 years ago, and he still protects that home, which is kind of weird. And he died on an unpleasant death. I'll just explain that. I don't want to go into detail because the death was gruesome. Just put it that way. And then on top of that, we also have haunted rail tracks here too. If anyone knows the haunting of Maria or Mariah something, that I think that was based on a true story here in Peterborough. I'm not officially sure, but it could be looked into. And then there's different stories of different people's opinions about paranormal people. Like, I don't know why people have speculation against paranormal, saying it's not real. Like, like it sometimes it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like if you get an evil entity near you, you like have the heebie-jeebies. But if you get a good presence and a good feeling, then you're good. Like Paranormal Activity, the movies are based on that. Like I've seen a few, most of them, and just say,
I gotta laugh at the paranormal movies, the Paranormal Activity movies, though.
yeah,
Because they don't really pull like they show.
Yeah.
And what they'll ever do is leave a burning handprint on your skin somewhere.
Yeah.
Or scratch marks. That's the most that they will do.
Yeah. But it can be deadly. Like I've seen creepy stuff. As I mentioned, I said I slept in the graveyard, and I've seen creepy shit that cannot be explained. Like gravestones cracking, friggin' trees branching, breaking, and the wind wasn't even there, so yeah, there's a lot. Excuse me.
Speaking of research, I just want to go back to that topic for a bit.
Yeah.
I haven't had any paranormal experiences since me and my friend stopped doing our research at the beginning of quarantine, at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Also, speaking about the team, my friend's cousin is on the team, and she lives in Peterborough. So I'll talk it over with my friend to see if we can get you on the away team.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of neat. A small world. That's a small world that your friend's cousin lives up here.
Well, she used to live in Toronto, then she just moved out to Peterborough.
Yeah, I used to live in Scarborough, Toronto, and I moved up here because just say drama and other issues and creepy incidents too. Like I was in a bathroom in Peterborough, Morningside Mall when it used to be there, which it's not anymore. It was destroyed after I came up to Peterborough, but when it was there, I was in the bathroom, and it was like 7 o'clock at night, and they closed at 8 or 9, if I recall, and nobody was in where I was, and I was hearing the taps go on, off, the toilets flushing, and I was taking a shit. No offense, but it scared.
At least it didn't scare you shitless.
No. Yeah. No, I was literally on the toilet taking a shit, and it boggled me, and then
at least you didn't need to change of underwear.
No, that too. No, and I got up and all that and looked around, and I saw what to be somebody from the mid-30s, and I was blinking, and then he left a message on the wall saying I don't know what it was. I think it was Italian, French, or Spanish. And then I talked to a buddy of mine who knew Italian and Russian, and I showed him that, and he said that he was the ghost was actually telling me to watch my back. And then a few months later, I almost got hit by a car. So there's something I can experience right there to tell people.
Continue to research. I opened my folder here. I have all my notes and all that. And I noticed. I know the piece of. I just found a piece of paper in it. I know it from my friend because that's her notebook page. I don't remember what this is a reference to. Maybe Mount Pleasant Cemetery, because that's one of the places where we're going to go.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant.
Because it all it says is, among the dead, the memory still lives of the foul murder, for in good sooth, the king of Hades has refused to let me And then it says 12 p.m. 12 to 8 p.m. South Side. Female voice 45 lonely. 12:50 child crying. Singing helps. Like blah blah black, like the song blah blah black sheep. That's all it's on here. That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
what? How's that? She does not even know.
Oh, but going to Mount Pleasant, that is one of the places in Ontario that is haunted. Mount Pleasant, where I live, Peterborough. Toronto has a few spaces. Ottawa, Kingston, Montreal. Um, Montreal has the most top haunted places in Canada, and then New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. There's a lot of places that are good, and then there are places on the border, Niagara Falls, going into Buffalo, New York, I believe, is also haunted because of the person who went over in a barrel over the falls. If you've heard that story, have you?
Yep.
Okay, well, that story is mostly highly popular here in Canada.
You know also highly popular.
Pardon?
The ghosts of the Toronto Island Lighthouse.
Oh yeah, that's highly popular. I've been there when it's at night, and I was like 13 when I went, and I know that for a fact. And Castle Loma too. Castle Loma is a very interesting place, but yeah.
I'm thinking just
Yeah. Sorry, once again.
So I'm just looking up the story a bit.
Story for what? Castle Loma?
The lighthouse.
Oh. I the early 30s or early 40s, when on the Toronto Harbor, for the lighthouse actually, a boat was coming in and the boat crashed on a rock and okay, close enough. But going to it, the boat crashed and the lighthouse guy died in the lighthouse or something. I don't know.
I heard that he was murdered, like cut in half. That's what I heard. That's the story I heard.
I've heard that he was killed, like what you said, but I heard he was killed by the boat crashing, and one of the metal stuff from the boat actually skewered him to the lighthouse or something. That's what I heard. There's many versions of the story.
But they all can agree on one thing. They see an aspiration of a half of a man.
Yeah.
So could you being skewered, like you said, or cut in half, like I said.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really say anything about that in this. Or I said it was used to keep ships off.
Yeah.
It doesn't really say anything really about the. I'm looking at the Star website, the Toronto Star website.
Yeah.
Here goes. Island Ghost.
Yeah.
Came to a bloody end.
Yeah.
Blah,
and
blah,
then
blah.
there's. Yeah. And then there's a place in Quebec that's also haunted, and apparently I don't know.
Here it is.
Okay.
First shining on top, yada yada lantern. You might find his blood spilled on the old wooden stairs. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I'm still scrolling through.
Yeah.
So
Well, while you're doing that, Yeah, while you're doing that, I'll explain another ghost story. Basically, there is a ghost story that where was it? Not house. Yeah, there's a ghost story that Center Island in Toronto is haunted, but it can't be confirmed because a lot of people will go there each day, and at night, I don't know, they close the gates, so people don't know. Anyway, yeah, there are many hauntings that people have tried to find. Like, people have said that our Prime Minister Alexander MacDonald was shot, killed, and he haunts where he lives. However, there are very little facts that can prove that. You know?
I'm on Wikipedia now. This should have the information I'm looking for.
Yeah. As our adventurous host has said, um, many places in Canada are haunted. Canada is the top place for hauntings and ghost specters. From East Coast to West Coast, and then there are churches. There's gyms. There's houses. There's a lot of places that are considered paranormal. If I remember correctly, there's a church. Is it British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan? I just have to friggin' remember what province. Uh, Nova Scotia, Quebec. I think it's either Nova Scotia or Alberta. There's a church that was destroyed by a fire, and about what was it? 700 people were burned alive, and then they also had a cemetery there as well, and the cemetery was destroyed as well, and they decided to build the church and cemetery on top of the old one. Just say that was not a good idea. The church became infested with paranormal activity, and now today it sits just as a reminder in that town. And if you go there, you can actually feel the people who were burned alive in the church and everything else. And it's so creepy that it was announced on national TV, and it was, I think, on the show Paranormal Investigators, if I recall, many years ago. Like, people don't understand how important paranormal is to people. Like, for example, me, like, I know my family is looking out for me. Like, my grandfather passed away in 2001 and from cancer, and I believe that he's been looking out for me. And then my uncle I've never met. I believe my uncle, since he was close to my father, is looking out for the both of us. And then my other uncle passed away in 2013, and I talked to him the day before he died. And what's the ironic is he passed away New Year's Day, which is kind of shocking and surprising at the same time. And every New Year's, I just remember the conversation that I had previously with him. And even though I have regrets because I grew up with my aunt and uncle, I live living with my father now. But when I was living with them, I was just a pain in the ass, and I have many regrets, and I can't tell him since he's dead. but I can feel that
You can
he's
still tell him, like, he will be able to hear you.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to explain that. Like I still feel him watching over me, which is kind of nice and scary at the same time. Anyway, so what did you find? You said you were looking at that lighthouse thing up. Well, just read it anyway, so our the viewers can hear. Because I. Oh, okay. Oh, I yeah. No, 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 no. I said that he was impaled. I said he was still. I said that he was still murdered. Impaled, being murdered too. I guess. Yeah. Uh, that sounds stupid. Yeah. Oh yeah. True. Anyway, going on to a recent murder that was here. Um, a kid was murdered or committed suicide because of um, just say related bullying issues and everything. And there are times when yeah, yeah, but going, yeah, it anyway. He committed suicide because bullying and all that. And every time I pass where he committed suicide, I can actually feel him and him looking at me saying thank you for sticking up for me. Because after he died, a lot of people were posting messages and everything, and I posted a lengthy message on the school site. He went to Adam Scott Collegiate. Anyway, I posted on or was it Thomas A? Either Thomas A.
One of
Stewart
those
or
two.
Adam. Yeah, one of the two. But
Don't need to
anyway,
get
I
into
posted.
details about that.
No, I posted on their site and all that on Twitter, and I went on a lengthy message saying it's not right. People should help um, the person being bullied and all that. And I got a sense that he respected people who did that because I could feel his presence even now as I'm speaking, even though my apartment building is like about 6 feet from where the lift locks are. He jumped off the lift lock bridge. Anyway, and going back to the lift locks here in Peterborough, they're very very haunted. Besides him, apparently the worker there are a few workers that are said to haunt it, and only a few people have been inside to investigate, which is kind of cool. Um, how old is the lift locks here? Um, I'm not officially sure how old they are, but they're very very old. And Peterborough is one of the most oldest places that have um, historical sites. There we go. Historical sites are old. Um, I think Peterborough is
Historical
the
sites are
top.
always haunted. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree there. I think Peterborough, Toronto, and Ottawa are the top three for historical sites being haunted.
I'm
I could be wrong.
pretty sure because by my old high school, there's like these ruins of like some
Yeah,
building. I
yeah,
don't know what building it is. Like it's behind a fence and just like another building on the property. Like a smaller
yeah,
building like for work and all that. But it's really just
yeah.
these ruins. Let me see if I can send you a photo real quick.
Okay. If you do that, I can. Anyway, I'll look at it after this. What else? What else can we talk about that can interest people besides what we discussed? Ooh, I don't know if it's rarely told, but a murder of somebody in the 40s in Toronto. Um, I forgot what it was, but somebody actually used an axe to kill the person, and apparently, the person that was killed actually haunts the place where he was murdered, and then on top of that, the person who killed him died in Kingston Penitentiary, and apparently haunts Kingston Penitentiary. So that's kind of weird and cool at the same time. Two places, two people, two haunts. You know? Eh?
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, I know. I said, what do you think of that? Anyway, while he's doing that, I can tell you a story that scares me to this day. Um, I was young. I was in my prime. Just to put it that way. And basically, um, I got scared very easily when I was younger. And to this day, I don't know what it was. Um, I don't know if it was human. I don't know if it was animal. I don't know if it was something that cannot be explained. Um, as references to a TV show. Uh, if you don't see it there, you can't believe it, or and then there something you can't explain. Anyway, yeah. Um, I don't know what it was. It gave me the heebie-jeebies for months going on. It I can't even explain. It was so creepy. It just reminded me of something. I don't know. There are times in paranormal people can get scared, and that was one of the times I was scared.
I think they removed it. So I'm not seeing it on the maps. I know these maps are recent
Oh,
too.
oh okay.
Because I know it was here when it was like the ruined building that was on this public health site thing.
How old are you?
Yeah, I think they removed it.
Well, it depends, and if the older you are, the I don't know. Yeah. So, what's your paranormal experiences that you have besides the school?
Well, not well. I told you the other one. The snow globe going off on its own.
Yeah, yeah, you said that one, and Snow Globe. Yeah, but what else? Like, you should
Just
explain since we're talking.
just regular activity. Weird
Yeah,
noises, burning scratch marks. That's
yeah,
it. And that's only
yeah.
happened when I was doing my research. before the pandemic happened.
Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. If we can get permission, there are places here that are haunted. We have a haunted hospital that's down the street, which is now apartments. We have the lift locks, and then we have railway tracks. We have the ghost of Christmas past or whatever. The person died on actually Christmas Eve and haunts Christmas or this Christmas store. And then there's places that are old and you can see that they're haunted.
True. Well, that seems to be all the time that we have for today's episode. Thank you again, Thomas, for joining me.
No problem. Anytime, man. It was a nice pleasure, and it was nice to talk about this because a lot of people say I'm crazy believing this stuff. So here's hopes to people who don't believe. Chill.
Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload a video. Comment down below your paranormal experiences, and I might get you into the next episode. But until next time, folks, stay creepy.